Thank you for being with us tonight. I'm Sharon Johnson.
But if you look right across the street, there is another tree that is covering someone's driveway. So it really looks like this all over town. As soon as we got here, we were told to back up, and you'll see why behind me. There is a smoking power line. This massive tree has been uprooted. I'm 5'8", so that gives you an idea of just how big this tree is. I want to show you how hard the plow drivers have been working. Take a look. We're off of Main Street in Torrington. These quotes behind me are from the dozens of messages and emails I received from parents across the state. Some tell me they need that remote learning option. They're not releasing a lot of details at this time, but we do know the shooter has been identified and one person is dead. President Biden's national security team told him another attack is likely, and the next few days could be the most dangerous of the evacuation. The suspects broke in through this window and then they proceeded to steal hundreds of dollars in merchandise. But they say thankfully, the entire robbery was caught on several cameras. UConn is celebrating this morning after winning their first game since 2019. Lauren,
yeah?
I saw some 55s in the forecast.
I know.
I'm scared.
It's not a pretty sight, Sharon, that's
No,
for
ma'am.
sure.
Patrons of the gay nightclub Club Q in Colorado Springs called it a sanctuary.
It quickly became something that was like just everything that a queer person needs in their life is just being surrounded by other people.
That sanctuary was shattered in November when a gunman opened fire, killing 5 people and injuring 17 others.
Pulse was one of the spots I'd been to hundreds of times. To be honest, I probably could have navigated it with my eyes closed.
Brandon Wolf knows the pain of losing a safe space.
The energy was always electric. The music was always loud, the drinks were always flowing, and it really was a space that no matter who you were, no matter how you identify, no matter how you dressed, no matter how you were feeling that day, you could just come and be free.
Wolf was at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando on June 12, 2016, when a gunman killed 49 people and injured 53 others. 2 of his friends were killed.
It's left such a hole in our hearts since the attack.
After mass shootings, the loss felt by marginalized groups, including people of color and the LGBTQ community, can be compounded, especially when the shootings create gaps in resources.
Schools and community spaces might close, so sources of routine and stability and safety get disrupted, and these can have profound impacts for people, especially in communities that lack resources.
Dr. Sarah Lowe is a professor and clinical psychologist with the Yale School of Public Health.
And oftentimes, it's not just the event itself, but it's this loss of social connection, of perceived social support, particularly over time as folks, get stretched dealing with their own challenges, be them mental health symptoms or economic losses that can worsen mental health problems over time.
When a white gunman killed 10 black people at Tops Friendly Market in Buffalo this past May, it left a food desert in the community when the store closed for 2 months.
Someone had the unmitigated gall, the audacity to come to our community, our home, and to rob us of our loved ones, and then to rob us of our only grocery store.
The school shooting in Uvalde, Texas this spring took the lives of 19 students and 2 teachers at Robb Elementary School.
This is where we got together. It was known as the School for the Mexicans.
The school will be demolished and rebuilt, but the students and teachers have been splintered to other schools in the district.
Great students have gone here, great teachers, administrators. We're losing an institution.
Club Q is closed until further notice, and Pulse nightclub is now a permanent memorial.
It breaks my heart that people have to experience the same hell that we experienced.
But Wolf says that a safe space isn't always a building.
I'm careful not to assign sole responsibility for creating belonging in a community to a physical space.
But also the people who make it. Sharon Johnson, Associated Press.
Stop. That's my vowel. I. The next sound is and then. So is there a sound after my vowel? Yes. Yes. To go through my checklist. Does it have one vowel? Does it have one closed syllable? Does it have one consonant after the vowel? If it does, it is a one-to-one word. If it is, I then need to ask, is there a vowel suffix? Go ahead, Rico. Why? But a lot of the students that we're getting are coming in and they are 2 to 3 grade levels behind. And so you really have to try to go back and catch them up from what they should have learned, some of those foundational skills, as well as still teach your grade level content, which is a challenge. And what does grandfather say? We can't read. He said what? He said what? We can't read. So I'm listening for that any sound because CAN apostrophe T is a contraction. No help for it, said grandfather. I shall have to tell you a tale of when say whistling. He said a penny whistle. Let me see. A penny whistle. Let me see. A penny whistle. A penny whistle. They're in 3rd grade. At this point, you have to read. You have to be able to comprehend, and you have to be able to do that independently. So, I just have to push them to continue to do that. I won't spell a word for them. I will not. Please use what you know and put it down. And then as I see them working, I can see how I can support. But you have to spell it. Grandfather had a voice like a tuba. Like a what? Tuba. A tuba. What's a tuba? I don't know.
From the cat. Because the cat probably is not trying to groom or attack them. They just want to be friends from the cat.
He say things basically in a complete sentence now. Instead of like what we say, the lingo. I feel like he got potential to be something like that. That's something I do believe. That he got the potential to be somebody.
Grass. And the K is a tall letter, so she start up at the top. Look at your I and your L. They look exactly the same. L is a tall letter, she start up at the top. Spell it. H-A-B. All right, we'll see these at all times. All right, so when I have a long vowel, okay? So then when do I spell with digraph CK, Malaysia? Michael, I hope you're paying attention. Because you're going to have to take the same assessment. Like Michael, he looked up and he, one day, and he was like, yeah, I can read this. I have it. I can do this. When he came to me with absolutely nothing. He can't completely always keep up, but it's a lot better than I don't know the letter B. I don't know the letter F. And so there has been that growth, and they want to grow. I think that's the other thing. Most of them have that mindset where I want to be great. And I tell them we're the best, in the building, my scholars. So if they believe it, then it's true. Why not? Participate. We're communicating, all those great things. Working together. Does everyone need to be writing at this point?
Glass and hugs over here, glass and hugs.
In Albany, Georgia, first responders aren't the only ones saving lives.
Okay, we can fix that.
Instead of an ambulance, you'll find Jesse Blanchard and volunteers in a Jeep.
Yep, I got those.
They pass out food, supplies, and the opioid antidote Narcan. But Blanchard says the most important life-saving tool they offer is compassion.
My baby has been on these streets and she has suffered several overdoses. So I started this in an attempt to save my baby.
After saving her daughter, she created the organization 229 Safer Living Access, with hopes that no other mother has to experience the fear of losing their child to this ongoing crisis. More than 109,000 people died nationwide from drug overdoses in 2022, a record high. The town of 70,000 has fared no better, with deaths rapidly increasing the past 4 years.
Warm hot compresses 4 times a day.
Blanchard, warmly called Miss Jessie,
I'm gonna get it for you. I'll get it for you.
sees her community behind those numbers. Her volunteers see themselves as a support system.
There's no judgment. We all want to know, how's the grandma, how's the kids, how's life, do we need help, doing anything, do you need furniture?
And their clients as family.
They take time to talk to you too. They don't just distribute you things, you know what I'm saying? But like that right there, it's not like that. They take time out with us individually.
The group handed out more than 1,800 doses of Narcan last year. Miss Jessie figures it was more than Narcan that rescued people.
They saved their own lives when they decided to connect with somebody who could love them unconditionally and get what they need in their hands.
It was a village. Sharon Johnson, Associated Press, Albany.